Hi, this is Sally's Book Talk. Daily Good Books brings you the best global reads. All right, hello everyone. I'm Sally, a university lecturer specializing in psychology, psychological counseling, and therapy. I'm also a licensed psychological counselor. Today I want to recommend my favorite book called Change, though the title sounds generic. Its subtitle reveals more. Principles of Problem Formation and Resolution. At first glance, you might think it's some dry theoretical textbook. Truth is, while it does contain complex theories, being an academic work, I still recommend it because it's surprisingly accessible, packed with real-life stories and case studies. These cases range from personal emotional struggles to massive global issues like international conflicts and wars. The core message explores human relationships. I recommend it because its fresh perspectives offer practical life guidance, though its academic-sounding title might put people off.
It's unfortunately not widely read despite its unique psychological insights.
That's why I want to share its brilliant concepts that you won't find elsewhere. Maybe this will spark your interest in psychology and relationship dynamics. It could offer new perspectives for tackling life's challenges. You know that saying, I know all the theories, yet still can't live my life right. This book helps bridge that gap. This statement becomes quite intriguing when you really think about it. In our daily lives, we constantly encounter guidance from books, classes, and social media articles. Some principles we even jot down as life mottos.
Yet actually implementing them proves incredibly difficult.
We all have persistent issues we want to change, but they somehow elude resolution. Why do countless change-related books and theories exist, yet fail to genuinely help us despite their seemingly logical arguments? The fundamental issue is that most theories only offer superficial explanations. They simply label life's problems with technical terms and concepts. These explanations create an illusion of understanding the root cause. But ultimately, they're just conceptual labels. Let's take procrastination, a universal struggle.
You have crucial tasks needing time, yet keep delaying until the last minute.
Some blame laziness, others attribute it to nature or habits. Modern explanations might cite willpower deficiency. While plausible, none actually facilitate real change. This book, Change, approaches transformation differently. It doesn't just label problems with psychological jargon, but reveals why most change attempts fail at fundamental levels. If you read this book, you'll even find mathematical concepts like logical taxonomy and group theory. I probably won't go that deep in today's book club session. Instead, I'll use interesting anecdotes to explain the book's perspective on change. The primary author is Paul Waxlawek from the Palo Alto Mental Research Institute. This institute is truly remarkable. Researchers there seem genuinely fulfilled. They focus purely on understanding human behavior without academic pressures. Their approach involves observing human patterns with radical curiosity. Rather than following established theories, they treat human behavior as a puzzle. The Institute's Brief Therapy Center developed revolutionary methods. Unlike traditional therapy requiring months, Brief Therapy aims for rapid change. Through concentrated interventions in just 3 sessions. They create dramatic shifts in relational dynamics and behavior patterns. The results can seem magical, like transforming someone's life in single conversation. The Brief Theory Center focuses precisely on this methodology. Instead of gradual change through time and patience, they identify maintaining factors and strategically disrupt them. This represents a radically different therapeutic approach. Waxlawick was the leading figure of this center. In the book, he introduces the groundbreaking concepts of first-order and second-order change. This categorization might seem counterintuitive. How can change have dimensions? First-order change occurs within an unchanged system, like routine adjustments. Second-order change fundamentally transforms the entire system itself. This framework originates from cybernetics, the study of systems control. Take a washing machine as example. Pressing start creates operational change, from static to spinning mode. First-order change within existing parameters. The machine's fundamental design remains unchanged. Anyone can achieve this by following the manual. This exemplifies first-order change, system-preserving adjustments. Now, what defines second-order change? You've probably guessed, it's bidding system-level change. Imagine an engineer modifying a washing machine's internals with screwdrivers, potentially transforming it into a dishwasher. This represents second-order change, altering the entire system itself. First-order V.S. Second-order changes differ dramatically in complexity. First-order changes require minimal skill. Even a child could follow instructions. Second-order changes demand professional expertise and specialized tools. Technically speaking, first-order alters states. Second-order changes how states change. Procrastination perfectly illustrates first-order change.
Waiting until day 30 to start a 30-day task shows state change from inactive to hyperproductive.
This surface-level change actually reinforces the underlying pattern. True procrastination means maintaining the last-minute scramble pattern across tasks. The frantic productivity on day 30 preserves the larger dysfunctional system. So, in a way, I've temporarily resolved the crisis.
But next time, I'll fall back into the same crisis pattern. My procrastination cycle remains unchanged.
When people say they want to stop procrastinating, they're not addressing surface-level behavior. They know they can shift into action mode when the deadline hits. But that first-order change isn't what they truly need. It's about transforming the entire pattern. The real solution requires second-order change, working consistently over 30 days instead of last-minute scrambling. The superficial change maintains the underlying dysfunctional pattern. Consider relationships. Imagine a couple where the guy's irresponsible behavior becomes unbearable. The girlfriend issues an ultimatum, change or I'm leaving, and actually walks out.
Panicked, the boyfriend begs forgiveness. I'll completely reform myself.
They reconcile and he temporarily improves, fearing permanent loss.
But gradually, old patterns resurface. The core issue remains unchanged.
Months later, the cycle repeats. Ultimatums, promises, temporary changes. This endless chase represents first-order change within an unchanged system. So has their state actually changed? Yes, but the underlying pattern persists. The boyfriend's temporary improvements actually maintain the dysfunctional cycle. His ability to make short-term changes prevents true systemic transformation. Waxlawick quotes the French proverb, plus a change, plus c'est la même chose. The more things change, the more they stay the same. This paradox reveals how superficial changes reinforce deeper patterns. The book identifies three mechanisms maintaining persistent problems. First mechanism, dreadful simplification, collective denial of complex issues. Like ostriches burying heads in sand, people oversimplify problems to avoid confronting them.
Anyone highlighting the real complexity gets ostracized as troublemakers.
This creates dangerous groupthink where dissenters are silenced. The system maintains false consensus by punishing truth tellers. I just thought of a perfect example. Take the popular drama In the Name of People. The Daothing factory equity issue was dangerously oversimplified initially. Everyone dismissed it as mere financial dispute. Until it revealed massive corruption cases beneath the surface. It requires courageous individuals to confront collective denial.
Like the child in the Emperor's New Clothes. Truth takers face huge risks.
R.D. Ulling's quote perfectly captures this dynamic. They're playing a game. They're playing at not playing a game. If I show them I see it, I break the rules and get punished.
This describes historical moments of collective delusion and enforced conformity.
The real-world example. Parents sending kids to Youngson's electroshock therapy. Families justify this abuse by oversimplifying complex parent-child conflicts as internet addiction. But parents refuse to acknowledge these complex conflicts. We all know parent-child relationships are inherently complex. I have a paid audio program called Insights into Relationships on Himalaya. It addresses various family relationship issues and solutions.
Most parents won't invest a year understanding parent-child dynamics through my program.
They prefer oversimplifying everything as internet addiction, the supposed root cause. The solution: electroshock therapy at Youngson's Center. Despite media exposing these cruel methods as pseudoscience. Parents defend Yang, attacking bullies as malicious liars. This collective denial maintains the simplified narrative. The second cause, utopia sends, creating problems where none exist. In our era, normal behaviors get pathologized as problems needing fixes. Ironically, these misguided solutions often perpetuate real issues. In my Insights into Relationships course, I discuss how insomniacs believe there's a perfect method to achieve sleep through self-management. They think clearing their mind of thoughts through mantras like "don't think anything" will help them sleep. This exemplifies utopia scenes pursuing impossible mental perfection.
Paradoxically, their solution becomes the problem. The self-commands create mental noise.
The book uses a drunkard's analogy. Searching lost keys under streetlight because the lighting's better here. We make this mistake constantly, obsessively searching where solutions seem easiest, not where problems actually exist.
The compulsive searching itself becomes the new problem sustaining the original issue.
Like hypochondriacs perpetuating illness through excessive medical consultations. Sometimes abandoning the cure makes the problem vanish naturally. This demonstrates a paradoxical characteristic. The third principle in problem formation is logical paradox itself. Paradox here means inherent logical contradictions within the system.
Real-life example. As university lecturer and counselor, I see students failing academically, skipping classes, gaming all night, missing exams.
Parents intervene by moving near campus to monitor their child 24/7. Supervision temporarily improves academic performance. creates the core paradox. When can parents leave? Parents say, "We'll leave" when the child becomes self-disciplined. The paradox. The very supervision proving academic improvement simultaneously proves the child's lack of self-discipline. Parental presence becomes both solution and perpetuator of the problem.
This Chinese parenting paradox echoes nationwide. Study hard, but do it willingly without being told. Many of us experienced this growing up. Study harder, but prove you're doing it willingly.
This creates a logical paradox. Compliance proves non-spontaneity.
The more you study under parental pressure, the more you confirm it's not self-motivated.
Parents perpetuate the problem through their monitoring solution. Similar paradoxes occur in relationships. We address these in Insights into Relationships.
The classic argument, I want you to do it without me telling you to.
These paradoxical traps have no conventional solutions. They require paradoxical interventions. The book proposes using paradox to combat paradox. We'll discuss specific cases later. Beyond problem formation, the book offers solutions for second-order change. Second-order change principles. Solutions become the problem in first-order systems. First-order changes rely on common-sense strategies we naturally employ. Second-order solutions often seem counterintuitive and paradoxical. They defy normal logic.
Like telling insomniacs, don't sleep. The solution becomes the intervention.
Therapists using conventional wisdom aren't the most effective. We need creative nonsense interventions. Second-order change focuses on present outcomes, not historical causes. It reframes problems beyond paradoxical traps, like solving insomnia by embracing wakefulness. True psychology often contradicts common intuition. That's what makes it scientific. The book's case studies demonstrate accidental, second-order changes through unconventional approaches. Second-order change defies self-help cliches about perseverance or habit forming. It's about pivotal moments, triggering systemic shifts. Why is second-order change counterintuitive? Let's break it down. When problematic even A occurs, common sense says, prevent A using its opposite, non-A, but this only creates first-order change.
True transformation requires moving beyond both A and non-A, finding a third option outside the original framework.
Mathematically, this seems impossible. How can something be neither A nor non-A? The computer analogy clarifies. Binary systems only know 0 and 1.
Until you unplug the power. Now it's neither 0 nor 1, a true second-order change.
This represents dimensional transcendence beyond original parameters. How to apply this? The book introduces reframing, psychologically reconstructing situations.
It means creating new mental frameworks that reinterpret facts more effectively.
After this reframing, the situation's meaning transforms completely. Let me clarify with Mark Twain's famous fence painting example from Tom Sawyer.
Young Tom was forced to whitewash a fence on Saturday while friends mocked him. Poor guy stuck working.
Tom responded casually, "Work, maybe, but I'm enjoying it. How often does a boy get to whitewash fences?" This brilliant reframing turned chore into privilege. Soon, friends begged to participate.
Same physical action, completely reinterpreted meaning. Textbooks, second order, change. Another historical example, 19th century Parisian police handling public unrest. It was ordinary citizens demonstrating in the square, protesting peacefully. An officer received orders to suppress the protest. This officer had a moral conscience, though. He wanted to avoid bloodshed, but was authorized to shoot if crowds didn't disperse. He faced an impossible dilemma. Forcing evacuation would only inflame tensions, potentially making people dig in their heels. The critical question, to shoot or not.
Shooting meant tragedy. Not shooting meant losing authority.
His solution, psychological reframing. I'm ordered to shoot rioters here, he announced truthfully. But I see mostly lawful citizens, not rioters. Help me. True citizens, leave now. Let me deal with remaining rioters. You have 10 minutes. This reframing magically transformed dynamics. Same enforcement order, completely different context. By differentiating citizens from rioters, he let people choose their identity. Result: the square emptied completely within minutes. No bullets fired. Pure psychological mastery. Relabeling groups fundamentally changed behavioral logic. Another method, called paradoxical prescription, addresses problems through counterintuitive means. We previously discussed how paradoxes maintain problematic patterns. Paradoxical prescription fights fire with fire, using paradox to disrupt paradox. Sometimes we weaponize the symptom itself as treatment.
The book shares a stuttering salesman's story. His speech impediment caused distress until therapy reframed it.
The therapist began by radically reinterpreting his condition. What if stuttering is actually your greatest sales asset? Most salespeople talk too smoothly. Customers distrust their slickness. Your struggle to speak makes every word feel authentic. People want to help someone working hard to communicate. This reframing transformed stuttering from liability to strategic advantage. Then came the paradoxical instruction. Consciously maintain your stutter. It's crucial for sales success. Avoid speaking fluently at all costs during client interactions. If your stutter improves, fake it deliberately. The confused client left questioning reality. Exactly the intended effect.
Later, he told the therapist gloomily, I tried faking the stutter as instructed, but sometimes forget and speak fluently.
This creates therapeutic paradox. Maintaining symptoms becomes compliance, which allows non-compliance. Whether you maintain or abandon the symptom, your relationship to it transforms fundamentally. Another insomnia case. A man kept waking at 2 a.m. The therapist prescribed, set alarm to wake intentionally. Use this precious time for reading or reflection. A week later, I canceled the alarm. Couldn't stay awake. The insomnia vanished through reverse psychology. These brief therapy interventions contain brilliant logical traps. You lose whether you obey or disobey. The book's problem-solving approaches differ radically from conventional self-help cliches. What fascinates me most are the stories spanning societal issues like poverty and crime, to personal struggles with relationships and health, all revealing fundamental change principles. These issues reveal fundamental dynamics between change and stability through fresh perspectives, showing their logical interconnectedness. This book deeply inspired my Himalaya course, Insights into Relationships. We address relationship issues using this change, stability framework, solutions that don't look like solutions. Many listeners report profound changes after 3 months, though I give paradoxical advice. Don't try to change. Just notice how you stay the same. This paradoxical intervention alters their relationship with problems. Our usual solutions often maintain problems. This book helps discern effective vs. ineffective approaches. I highly recommend it. It challenges assumptions about right-wrong approaches. Life's full of change, stability paradoxes. Understanding them brings unexpected breakthroughs. Wishing you wisdom to change what you can, accept what you can't, and discern the difference. Goodbye. Alright, that wraps up today's book breakdown. You'll find the key takeaways in the show notes below. Catch you tomorrow.